I have a saying, I will pay you any price you want if you give me the terms I want. I will pay you any price you want if you give me the terms I want. Let me exaggerate that. Let's say I have a property for $100,000. I'm willing to give you $1 million. But let me pay you over 100 years. And let me make the payments on an escalated program where I can start with $100 a month and it will increase exponentially. Heck, by the time I pay it off, it would be worth $3 million. You see my point? So you got to understand the balance of how it works. That's why the notes, when I talk about the notes, and I say, you know, here's the note. The note is worth, let's say 60. You're buying it at 37. So what's happening? You have a huge cushion. The note is getting paid slowly through the years. But as they pay you, your cost is getting paid down. So you're going to be paid in like 7.5 years. Let's say 8 years just around it. But they still have 22 more years to pay you. It's just crazy. I have students that borrowed home equity credit line, and they're telling me, all we're going to do in the first few years is just pay off the credit line. After that, the rest is all profit. It's all profit. Heck, you can go buy a timeshare. How many people here have timeshare? Timeshare. Okay, I know you don't want to raise your hands. Come on, it's all right. Okay, timeshare, all right. Timeshare costs you money to start and costs you money ongoing. A note like this, I buy one note, it brings me money, and I can use that money to enjoy life many times over. And I'm not trying to compare in terms of like lifestyle, I'm just comparing cash flow situations. You know, you took the commercial buildings in Puerto Rico, for example. If you think what I have here is good structures, you should see what I've done in Puerto Rico. Unheard of in the business. Unheard of in the business. Taking one building, and you can retire from one. Not just from the cash flow, but from the cash I get out of it. Okay? And you get a building, and all the rent keeps going up with no headaches. It's not like a bunch of tenants. One tenant in that building paying me more than you can get for a whole mall. And the debt keeps getting paid down. And the banks are anxious, and in an area that can go down. There's only so much depth in the water for the cruise ships to dock. The cruise ships industry is the only one growing. Even in a down market, they're building new ships bigger and bigger. Why? Because it's one of the least expensive ways to spend vacation. It beats hotels. Cruise ships is a cash cow. Do you know the cruise ships, just to give you some numbers, in 2007, in average, for the cruise ships docking in Puerto Rico, was $631 per person. That's the average per customer on the cruise ship. In 2009, March, which was the worst, I don't know if you've ever seen any statistical chart, March 2009 was bing in the stock market, in real estate, and everything, okay? Average $333 per customer. When you talk to PPI, which is the company from Miami that does the cruise ship advertisement worldwide, and I talk to their people very directly because I know them from the business we have in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, so I know the key people there. So I asked them, hey, how come you're able to make it at 333? And the guy in charge told me, Cherif, we don't care to make it. All we care for is to break even, to not lose our international staff that works on the cruise ships, because if one cruise ship loses staff, it's almost impossible to restaff it. All we want is just to keep the cruise ship filled and keep going out there. Keep going out there. Because we're actually building the bigger ships because we have critical mass. And it's going to work for us. I said, but, I mean, you're barely breaking even. He said, yeah, we give the same quality food, the same entertainment, the same anything. I said, how do you make it? Well, when they dock in the ports and they go and shop. Have you ever gone to a cruise ship? And they give you like where to shop? Recommended by Carnival Cruise. When you go and shop there, these stores pay percentage to the cruise ship. So he said, well, we make our money from the shopping. The whole thing is great. The whole thing feeds for us as business owners if we're in the right places. And you got to find one. How about in Newport Beach? How about looking certain areas in Laguna Niguel? It's the same concept. You just find out where. In Key West, Florida. Once you know where the traffic is, the prime locations, and what to do and how to structure your deals and all this, it's like putting the pieces of the puzzle together. You get the lowest price, the best deal, the best tenant, the best lease, the best financing, and then the whole thing makes best. And if you missed one little thing, which is taxes, you end up paying 35 to 45%. Guys, I mean, on $1 million here in the US, here in California, on $1 million income, your taxes, because it's a graduated tax plan. Graduated tax plan. On the first you pay so much, and then you pay more and more. On $1 million income, there's no way in California you pay less than $450. In New York, you'll pay $490. It's 49% there. I mean, and if you find a legal way to avoid that and reinvest this, that's powerful.